Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and I want to talk about gold and silver, and maybe a little bit about just precious metals. And the thing is, I've changed my attitude towards precious metals, and the reason is, when I was in China, I saw a lot of stuff. And one of the things that I noticed in China, it was very difficult to use gold and silver. And I found that hard to believe because I use gold and silver everywhere. And what I've figured out in China, in general, gold and silver works with educated people. So if they're not all that educated, you're probably not going to get much use out of gold and silver. Now, I've talked about using it in shit at the fan situation, and you can. And the same thing, it's probably only going to be good for the people that are educated. The ones that really are, they don't know too much about what the world around them, they're probably not going to be too open to it. So, but one thing I've noticed everywhere I go, professionals, I hate to call them professionals, but they really are the ones that make more money. The ones that aren't in debt. So people that aren't in debt, they make money, they're normally a little educated. They are much more open to gold and silver. And so, but in China, what happened is they've been producing so much fake gold and silver coins, and you already know jewelry. You can't, you can't really tell. Now, I talk about Americans being immoral type people. Okay. When you are a moral type person, you will not make jewelry and mark it as 14 karat when it's 10 or 12. But like I say, morality is not that high anymore. So, and it's the same thing with coins. A lot of these coins, they're not real coins. Now, I've got a testing kit and stuff like that, so I tested. One of the, they got coins, 1 ounce coins, that were from the guy about the late 1700s. They were called trader coins, and they were silver coins. I think most of them were from Spain or Mexico, something like that. They're the ones that had the silver at that time. And you will find them, and they have little nicks in them. And these nicks are these coins went to China. And when they went to China, the Chinese didn't trust anybody. So what they did is they take a little chip out of these coins to make sure that they were real silver. This is something I think is going to have to be going on now. You're going to have to start learning how to do that right now also. But to me, the gold and silver is a small, like in your hand. In your hand, you can hold enough gold to start a new life. So that's what I'm saying. It's in a small package, you have a lot of worth. And my gold and silver isn't used to sell it, and I have value. You know, it it gives me worth. In other words, if I don't owe, I have no debt, and I have a big old pile of gold, I've got worth, and it's true worth. You might own real estate, you might own a car, you might own a lot of, fancy house or whatever. You might think you own something, but you don't. It's easily taken away. I've seen it happen a lot. So that's why I'm not into that kind of stuff. And that's why I take my gold and silver and I bury it off somewhere. So even if I lose it someplace else, I've got it in other places. So that's the reasoning behind that. I had somebody ask about platinum. I had some platinum, years and years ago. And when I bought it, it was twice the price of gold. And now it's just a little bit more. So in the way of having your money into it, it's not that good. Now, the worst thing about it is it's not even pretty. It's got a silver color, and it's not shiny silver like silver is. But it's got a silver tint to it, but it's not pretty. And is it real or is it not? That's a tough one also. So, if you have platinum, the only place you can deal with it is people that are into that kind of stuff. And even then, I mentioned I had a friend in the gold and silver business, and I had some solid gold necklaces. And I was showing it to him, and I was asking him how much is it worth, because these are solid gold. And he looked at me and he says, they're not 100% gold. And so I was shocked, because I know for a fact they were solid gold. When he buys it, he comes down. So it's 24 karat. He's going to give me maybe 20 or 22 karat. That's what he's going to pay for it. So, in other words, because if you're in a business, you're not going to give them what it's worth. So that's why you really need to be cautious. Because if it's somebody like me and they got their tester and they're going to be testing this stuff, then, like I say, if it turns out not to be good, well, it's not going to be nothing. And even if it is, I'm not going to give you the total of what it is, because, like I say, you are selling it for a reason. You need the money. That's why you're selling it. So, and I've got same thing. I've got expenses to pay and stuff like that. I'm not even in a business. I'll give more than what somebody in the gold and silver business would give. But I say they'll only give you maybe 60%, 70, 80%, and like that. Now, I'll give you a whole lot more, but I got to know for sure that it's real, and that's going to be tough. And but anyway, there is a use for gold and silver. This is what I'm trying to get across. Now, this is copper, and I give away a lot of copper coins, and so there is a use for it. This is the coin I had made for me in China, and so, like I say, so really to me, this has more value than all of the rest of these gold and silver coins. Because I can impress somebody with something shiny like this easier than a wooden coin. But I am making up some of these wooden coins. I found somebody that can make these wooden coins. So I am going to make some of them, and I'll start trying them out and see how that's going to work. But to me, the idea of all this gold and silver, you get enough that you're comfortable. I don't believe you're going to get rich. Money isn't my motivation, so that's no big thing. But I know I got enough, so if things go bad, I can fall back on it. So, but another thing that I've been doing now also is I've been giving away gold bills. Now, I can't. Some countries don't even know what real money, real U.S. dollars are. So you're right back to it doesn't really work. The coins would work better than something like that. But when you are with, like I say, professionals or educated people or stuff like that, and maybe they have gold and silver, or maybe they don't, that gold $100 bill is impressive. And if they just have to have an idea of what a U.S. money looks like, and then the gold one it's impressive. So, but like I say, there's all kinds of ways and uses for gold and silver. For me, I found the best has been to give it away. And when I give it, I know, well, one thing, I'm going to make friends quick. And a lot of people will think you're buying a friend. That's what the first thought. Well, you're just paying them. Okay. On a small child, when you're nice to a small child and you give them a gift, they're happy and they like you. But they're a small child. You do the same thing with an older person, they're not going to get the same reaction. But when you are given something, when you're older and you're giving something and you are asked nothing in return, that tells a lot about you. And now we're right back to morals. I give it to them after they've done something good for me, they've taken care of me or whatever, and then I give it to them. I can give them, money, and then they're going to take the money, they're going to spend the money, and they're going to forget me. But if I give them something nice and pretty and shiny, they'll remember me. And that's all I want, is you to remember me. Because like I say, I don't do bad things. So you're going to remember good things about whatever it is I do. Most of the time, it's the Hoi Chi. I'm helping people. So they're going to remember me on that kind of stuff. Or if I'm not doing that stuff, they just remember me just being a nice person, easy to get along with, stuff like that. Later on, I can ask them more questions. So it's a form of bribing, but it's done morally. And like I say, if they need money, they can sell whatever it is I give them, and then they can get some money. Most of the time, they hang on to it. Because like I say, it is some kind of cool stuff. And being nice and generous to others really opens the doors for a lot of things. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.